Well, today we're in the garden, and I have to admit, everything around me is looking incredibly lush, but there's one plant that we actually really wanted to share with you guys, and that's our lemon cucumbers. Well, cucumbers are pretty much a staple of most people's gardens. They're super familiar. All of us know about things like pickles, etc., but we've had a lot of challenges growing cucumbers in the last, well, basically the entire time we've been gardening. You can see the plants behind me, and they're extremely vigorous this year, but we came across this variety completely by accident. Just look at all the blossoms on these plants, and that bumblebee there doing his job, or her job I should say. These plants are loaded with flowers, and from what we've seen at the base of the plants, there's a lot more cucumbers to come. The people that we basically get our hay from for sheep got these by accident themselves, and they gave us a couple to try, and I'm not a huge cucumber fan to just eat cucumber, and this variety, I loved them. In fact, the whole family did. All the kids would eat them no problem, and we found they actually kept pretty good in the fridge. So, all that being said, what is a lemon cucumber? Well, this is the main event. This is a lemon cucumber. It doesn't look at all like what you think of as a cucumber, but these plants, in our opinion at least, have some pretty interesting traits that we think are going to make them indispensable in our garden. Number one trait, aside from their odd appearance, this is a vigorous plant. You can see this 8-foot trellis, it's 4 feet high, 8 feet long, is covered, and the plants have definitely escaped into the surrounding garden. In fact, they've climbed the trellis, and they're even giving the beans a run for their money over here on the adjacent trellis. So these are very vigorous growing plants. So lemon cucumbers are an heirloom, sort of open pollinated variety of cucumber. So you can save seeds, etc., provided you don't have something that will cross with them. They originate in Australia, which maybe has something to do with their prolificness and their sort of overall crazy growth habit. These are big plants. Another quality of these plants is they are prolific, and they have a pretty short growing season. They can actually start producing fruit, essentially, or cucumbers, in as little as 60 days. We're gonna go ahead and do a bit of a harvest here and see just how many of these lemon cucumbers are on these vines. So these little guys are quite an interesting novelty, for lack of a better way to put it. They're really firm, and it's really easy to tell when they're ready to pick. You can see here, this one's almost to size, but it hasn't changed color yet. And we even have this big one that I would probably not use for seed saving because it's a little bit off in shape. Again, it hasn't really gone to that nice yellow color. So very easy variety to know exactly when they're ready. So as I say, we've had trouble in the past with cucumbers, and we've tried a lot of different varieties. And anybody who's followed us for a while knows that we tend to end up, I don't even know if it's attracted to, tend to end up with things that are a little weird. But I have to admit, even though they don't look like a normal cucumber, I would highly, highly recommend these to anybody who's looking for a prolific plant. And the nice part of it is they can be used the exact same way as normal cucumbers. We're going to take most of this bucket into the house and make them into pickles. So here we go. This is today's harvest only. It overflowed the one dish there. We had to start filling the second one up. But there is probably double or triple that left on the plants. Now, one thing for us, and this goes for more than just cucumbers, we need to get a little bit better at sort of staggering our production. One thing that's really nice, because these are such a short season cucumber, we've got a big harvest now, but if we plant in a little bit of succession, we can keep this going rather than have everything ready all at once like we're going to have this year. But I'll show you a little tidbit. We've actually done just that. We have a small planting of these guys in the backyard, and hopefully later this year we'll be able to continue at least our fresh eating harvest of these cucumbers. Well, through the magic of cinematography, I'm fast forwarding to a time before the end of this video, but for an important purpose. We wanted to show kind of what these look like on the inside, because they look on the outside very melon-like, and they actually look kind of melon-like on the inside too. And here they are. This bunch is in preparation to make some pickles, and as you can see, really does not look like your typical cucumber. But trust me, they taste amazing. So while I'm going to eat this one raw, if you want to find out how these pickles turned out or how the process went, check out our Pantry Living channel and you'll see the video for this whole process over there. Yeah, I couldn't do that with a normal cucumber. So as you can see, this little planter box has got more cucumber plants, more lemon cucumbers. These are quite a bit behind the ones that you just saw that we were picking from. But that is okay because that's going to allow us to enjoy some fresh eating sort of after the main harvest is done. It's really, I have to admit, nice to have so much in the way of cucumber production because we're actually going to have enough to make pickles, which is something we've never had before when we've grown other varieties. Well, it's starting to rain, and that pretty much wraps up this video. Hopefully you found it interesting, and hopefully it showcases a plant that, although it's kind of the lowly cucumber that everybody's familiar with, it's an unusual variety that is not only interesting, but highly, highly productive. And in my opinion, at least, even if you don't like cucumbers, you might actually enjoy this one. So if you've got some space, give it a try because you might find that this becomes a new garden favorite for you.
And if you have tried it, let us know about it down in the comments.
And if you have tried it, let us know what your experiences have been with this plant because we certainly enjoy it.